Hi everyone and welcome back to the Recreateful channel. So I'm currently working on quite a large project and I need some instant gratification, so that's why I thought I'm going to do a thrift flip. So these are the two items that I'm going to flip today, and these are the ideas that I have for them. The first item that I'm going to flip is actually this jumper that I'm wearing right now. So let me show you how to turn a basic sort of shirt like that into this really cool cardigan. So the first couple of things I need to do to transform this top is to crop it at my desired length, then cut right through the front middle and cut out the neckline bias tape here, and then basically cut out every existing seam of the top to make it all separate and so that I can put my own seams in it. So now that we've taken the top apart, this is a good opportunity to trace these basic sort of pattern pieces for future use. But what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to basically pinch in two stripes of the front panel like that, straight across, and sew an overlock stitch all along it. So I think this is looking really good. So now I'm just going to continue with the sleeves and basically do the exact same thing. I'm going to fold them in half and sew along this edge 4 times with a zigzag stitch, and after that I can start reassembling the top. Next, I'm reattaching the back to the front along the shoulder seam, but now that we have made this a little smaller, this won't fully line up like you can see here. So this is now much shorter and it's also smaller on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that along the shoulder here and then cut this out. So now that the back and front pieces are joined at the shoulder seam, it looks like this little vest sort of situation. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to insert the sleeves by spreading the bodice part open like that across the shoulder seam, and then basically just insert the sleeve in here with the wrong sides touching, and again sewing 4 rows of zigzag stitches across that entire thing. So now that the sleeve is reattached to the top, I'm just folding the sleeve over and aligning the side seams and sewing 4 zigzag stitches around this edge here. I do have some excess fabric along the sides here, so I'm just going to cut that out first as well and then sew all along this side. This is what the top looks like now. I actually love it so much, even as just like a cardigan. I think it's well cute, but obviously we are going to continue. So the next steps now are going to be to hem the bottom and all the outside edges, and so basically the neckline, the front area, and then all around the bottom area. Again, 4 times doing zigzag stitches all along this entire area, and then we just have to create the loops and attach them, feed some elastic through, and this top is finished. So for the loops for the closure of the cardigan, I'm going to take the surplus fabric that I cut off the top earlier and create 20 little rectangles. And I think I'm going to do 6 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter, hoping that this is wide and long enough. And then basically sew 4 times the zigzag stitch again around the long edges of the rectangles, and then attach them to the front. So it is the next day because I was losing patience and daylight yesterday. However, I did manage to finish all of the loops. So all that is left to do now is to basically sew them into a loop by sewing along this edge here, flipping them right sides out. So we're sewing them right sides together. And then we've got one loop without any raw edges showing, and then I just simply attach them to the front of my cardigan. I'm going to make sure to obviously kind of like distribute them equally, and then once they are attached, we only need to feed some elastic through and this thrift flip is done. So now that the top is finished and I tried it on, I actually realized I do want it to fit a little more snug. So all I did is I quickly sewed a basting stitch along that area here, kind of making the sleeves a little tighter, the armpit as well, and then the sides. And all I'm going to do now is cutting along that seam. I tried it on, it fits well, and then just zigzag again 4 times over those edges so that it just fits a little nicer and tighter. So I should have done that earlier. I haven't, but this is how I rectify it. So now the top is done, and I have to say I actually love it. I think it looks very cool, and it kind of makes me feel like a baddie when I'm everything but a baddie. So yeah, I really love it. So now let me show you how it looks on. Right, so now on to the next flip, which are these men's pyjama bottoms. They are really nice and soft, and I was first thinking to create a skirt out of them, but because I already did that on this channel, I'm now thinking to create a mini dress from them instead. So first of all, I'm just going to take them apart, and I'm going to just use my scissors for that instead of the seam ripper. They are quite large on me, so that should be fine. And then I'm just going to trace a dress I already own onto the fabric, sew it all together, create some straps, and then we should be done. So hopefully this is a quick one. However, I have thought that in the past about other projects that then turned out to not be so quick. So I guess we'll see. Right, so the pieces are pretty much all attached together now. I just have one slight issue, and that being that the back panel somehow turned out much smaller than the other pieces. So now I'm thinking I might have to slit that in half and put some more fabric in between. And I've also realized, because I cut out the top pieces not with a stretch but sideways, they are actually not stretchy enough to fit over my shoulders, I don't think, so I will probably have to insert a zipper now as well. Luckily, I have enough zippers to choose from, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's an exposed one, but that's gonna work fine. So the skirts are now attached to the tops, and next I'm just gonna hem the bottoms and tops of the pieces. I'm just gonna do that with a single fold, and once that's all hemmed, I'm going to insert the zipper first by sewing these two pieces and these pieces right sides together with a zipper foot, and then basically just close off the side seams of the dress and then create straps, and we're done. So the dress is nearly finished. I have just tried it on and realized it's a little bit too big. So what I did is the following. I basically am taking it in along the front seams on both of them. So I've just kind of like tried it on and pinned it to fit a little more snug around the top and waist on both sides. I opted for the middle seams rather than the side seams because I already fitted the zipper. And the only thing that's left to do next is to create and attach the straps, which I'm not going to show you. You've seen that loads of times on this and other channels. So yeah, let's just skip to the final results.